I'm Zanetta with Side Stage Magazine, and we're here with Blake from Devour the Day. We're at Rocktoberfest here on MCAS Cherry Point in North Carolina. So I was reading your bio, and there's actually something really cool that I was reading that I wanted you guys to address.
Okay.
It says if you're part of the rock community, you've chosen to be a musical outsider. Joey
Yeah.
said that. Can you guys expand on that?
Rock music isn't the most popular thing now, and
But it's not dead.
no, absolutely not. And it's because the rock community is, it's unique in the sense that, like when a rock show happens, there's something special about it. Everybody there is there for a reason. And most of the people that listen to rock music, studies have shown, scientists say, that most people who listen to rock music are more introspective, intuitive, and also troubled, because the music comes from a place of anger, and that it's a relief for anxiety and depression and all the things that plague us. And so when you see that many people together, you know that it's not just about the music. It's not just about whoever's on stage. It's not just about the beer or the fact that it's every rock band in America. It's really about those people coming together to meet up and talk and become friends and share stories and become stronger. It's a tribe mentality, and I we're lucky to be a part of it. So I think that's why people that choose rock music it's a choice. It's not like, I kind of like it, so I'll go to a show. It's like, no, my friends are there. I'm gonna go see my favorite band. I'm gonna do all. There's a thing about it. People that like rock music are more enthusiastic. I think they're more fanatical, not about the people, but just about the genre, just about the community.
Yeah, I always find that it's the most accepting group of people. I mean, it was kind of created for misfits, so like a bunch of misfits come together, and then you're just accepted.
Yeah, this person is like me because they like the same band. There's their connection there, and it might be subconscious, or you might talk about it, but still, the fact that the connection is being made and is able to be made is a really, really, really great and exciting thing.
I really like the perspective that you guys have, that it's not just your album. It's really a shared album with the fans and the music in general, and I think that's a good perspective to have, and it's more community. And
it's a lot easier to write music when you don't have to the hardest part about writing anything is sticking your neck out because it's you. But if you change the perspective as a writer, that the music was going to get made whether or not it was you or not. Music was always being made by people. There's an author named Elizabeth Gilbert, and she wrote a book called Big Magic. Do you know her?
Eat, Pray, Love
Yes.
as well, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so she
Big
talks
Magic.
about how ideas are kind of like a tiger, and if you can catch that tiger by its tail, then you've accomplished what you're supposed to do. A lot of ideas pass through people, and they're just not equipped, they're just not ready for it, they're just not focused, they're not, whatever, and the idea gets away, and then somehow that same idea makes it into somebody else's hands. There's so many times
it's almost
where
like it's like energy or something, and whoever's receiving it. Okay.
Absolutely. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, I listened to a song on the radio and I was like, no, I was writing that song. That's my song. I was doing that. And the idea is that, like, we're all kind of listening to everybody else. Everybody's kind of churning out ideas and working on things that are original. And when somebody lands on something that is really unique, everybody's like, of course, that's great, and there's a reason for that, and I think that it's that. I think that energy signals, that's our new record is entitled Signals, and it's about how every one of these songs isn't, compositions coming from us and our genius. It's actually just the music working through us. We just go to work every day. If I sit down at my desk to write a song, I'm just going to work and a song gets made. If I don't do it, it doesn't happen. So it's really not mine. I'm just being able, like you would just show up to do your job. Yes, absolutely.
So what do you do to try to capture that idea? Like meditate, or?
That's a really good question, because sometimes it's like an idea is just there and I'm like, oh, I gotta run it, I gotta put this down, I gotta get this in, and then once it's down, it's like, okay, it's done. Sometimes it's like I'm sitting in front of my desk just like staring at a staring at my guitar, like,
the dreaded white page.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of my time is spent doing that, to be honest. But if I'm not there, it doesn't happen. So when the well is dry, Elizabeth Gilbert talks about going to stock your pond, meaning like go listen to other musicians, go to a concert, or go to a movie, something that just you find an emotional value to it and it inspires you in some way. 'Cause I feel like most of the time it's not when I hear something that I like that I go and write a song like that, because that just, even the talking about it, that just feels like, oh, I'm just gonna, okay, that sounds cool, I'm gonna do it too. But like sometimes I'll be watching a movie and I'll hear, Danny Elfman doing this thing that just matches what's going on in the scene with Edward Scissorhands, and he's like, chopping things up. There's something super beautiful about that. That's like the thing I'm like, okay, that's what I want to capture. I want to do that. I want to take that feeling and put it into music, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty cool method.
It's a lot of fun, I will tell you that. Once that moment of inspiration, that's the most exciting and most fun moment, because everything after that is like going to work and churning the idea out. So yeah.
So do you keep a notepad by your bed?
I
wake up at night?
I do. I have like a cell phone that's just full of like me just like making noises into it, like, okay, the beat goes like this, it sounds awful. And I have like this little tiny guitar rig that I can hook into my phone and just like lay down an idea real quick. And then at home I have like a desk that I can like really do a song that way, and that's usually how it kind of starts.
It's pretty cool that technology just opens so many more avenues to be able to create. Like I think some people find that it kind of stunts your creativity, but then I think you have to use it right. So.
It can definitely stun it if you let the computer do all the work.
Yeah, yeah.
But an idea, it should be easier after the idea. And you're right. Technology has done a great thing in the sense that it's made it to where once an idea is conceived, it can get produced, meaning just created, just not manufactured, and you know what I mean, just like built quickly. That's something it used to take forever. It used to be like, I got the song, then I got to get my band, and everybody comes in, and then a producer, and everybody's got these ideas, and then 3 hours later we got some version of that. Now it's like, no, I got an idea for a song, and I can get it done in 3 hours. And have something to show everyone and be like, hey, what do you think about this idea? And it's got more stuff behind it rather than just like humming out a melody to it.
So do you write every day or try to?
Try to. The only issue with being in a band is that there's a bunch of other stuff that goes into it.
Yeah.
So some days I get really frustrated, and it's usually around like 3 o'clock every day that I'm like, I haven't written, I haven't done anything, I haven't even picked up an instrument today, and I'm supposed to do that, and I know that I'm not. It's been like 3 days since I've touched an instrument,
Yeah.
But
do you guys all write together, or does it fall more on you?
No, it doesn't fall anywhere specific, but Joey and I definitely spend as much time writing as possible with our home lives and sometimes we'll schedule like a week together, either in Florida or in Little Rock, where we'll get together and just churn out ideas and just hang out, no pressure. The pressure to finish a song in a week is the worst thing in the world, but sometimes in studio we'll all three be together, Ronnie, Joey, and I, and we'll just play around with something, and sometimes things come out of that, but they do most of the time it comes from somewhere else and then into the room.
And then you guys polish it together?
Yeah, trade ideas, tell each other, this sucks, that sucks, this sucks, that sucks. No, I'm really lucky in the sense that I have a great support system creatively. We've kind of come to the point where there are no bad ideas. We're gonna help each other fill out those ideas, and if at the end of it we're all like, then it is what it is. But most of the time we end up very, very excited about whatever it is.
I think that kind of environment allows you more to be vulnerable and kind of tap into that creative process. So that's good.
Get weird.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we call it. I prefer not to like record vocals with anyone around in the room. I like to just kind of do it myself, because sometimes I have to give myself the forgiveness to not be good, you know?
Yeah,
and if I don't, then I'm like, oh, that wasn't good. I suck. I should just go home. But if I just say, it's okay to suck, you're not supposed to know how this song goes yet because it's not been done yet, you know? Or, you know, practice-wise, same thing. It's like, just let it go and just keep working on it, because eventually it gets that there's like a point where every song really takes shape, you know?
Well, in my classes, my screenwriting classes, they always said the first draft is your garbage draft, but you just have to push through to get it out, and then you polish it, and you can't judge anyone by their first draft. So.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to send songs that are first drafts. In fact, I just don't do it. I'll get excited about an idea and I'll want to send it off, and I'll give myself the time to sleep on it where I just kind of like sit back, don't do anything, come back to it. If it still sounds good, then I'll send it, but if not, keep sleeping on it.
So I know it was 2 years ago, but I wanted to ask what it was like touring with Skillet.
Oh, it was absolutely the best tour we've ever done. In the sense of, like, one, the audience was so much energy with so much respect for each other, you know? Which is not really a common thing in rock shows.
They're kind of a Christian metal band, you think?
They are. And so the audience was always happy, always in good spirits, and very responsive, but a different kind of crowd in the sense that they're not drunk and pushing on each other and sweaty and, you know. You know, sometimes the right kind of show where everybody's like that can be a really great thing. But in large spaces, I feel like you get a bunch of crazy drunk people, and it can get weird. And fun, but weird.
They were my first rock concert. I was, I think, 12 years old, and they they came to Silver City, and they're in the crazy, like, really short hair and like psychedelic shirts, and Alien Youth came out. So.
That was forever ago. That's great that you say that, because I think that a lot of people that go to Skillet shows are taking their kids, and so you get this great mix of people that are just blown away by loud sounds and guys jumping around on stage and girls playing drums and singing at the same time. It's like, where am I, you know? And so we talk to a lot of people that are like, this is my first concert ever, you know. It's like, that's so great. I hope you come to many of them.
I love when you can tell when someone has their first concert. I just love witnessing that. Like, it feels like you're part of a special moment.
They're so excited. I can feel it on a lot of the crowd. So we absolutely miss not touring with them, I'll tell you that much. But we did 2 years with them almost.
I didn't realize it was so long.
So we did a leg of the tour and took a break, and then they invited us back for the second half of the tour. So we were like, yeah, of course. And then after that, we went and made a record, and while we were making a record, they invited us out for like this week to 2 week long run. And so over time, that was about 2 years. And I saw him just the other day. Their tour manager now manages our band. His name is Kyle Baker. You're the man. And so, you know, we keep in contact with them. Every time that we come to an issue, we'll annoy them by calling them and say, hey, can you help us figure out how to do this? And they just helped us refocus our whole thing and realize that it's not sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's not just a bunch of chaos and stupidity. It's actually a whole bunch of people that really care about their music, really care about their audience, really care about doing a good job. You know, their whole crew is just like on point, 100% every day, and so that's inspiring. So we love it.
I love that they're kind of mentoring you guys, like paying it forward, and that's awesome.
Totally.
Have you heard his new metal band?
I have, and it's great. It's great. I told him, I was like, John, I know stepping out on you know, doing side projects kind of weird. Trust me, I did it. And he was like, yeah, it is kind of weird, man, but I like it. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like, I think actually, I remember I was in like 7th grade, and I was just flipping through radio stations, and it was like Skillet and POD on the radio, on the Christian station.
Yeah.
And they just drew to me, and I felt like that in itself was like, you know, you don't have to stay within those confines of, but like it reaches more people. Like, I was into it because it was a heavier metal, and then of course the message alone was inspiring. So I like that they.
It's the good pairing, I think, because there's something about the angst and the music and the aggression and the feeling that's generated from something that sounds like that is like heavy and is just fast and it just, you know, what rock music really does to people. And then you back it up with a message that is meant to help, you know, and I think that's really important too. And we've always tried to do that. I think our first record, we kind of had a little bit of anger in our hearts about the way that our previous band fell apart. But once we got all that out, you know, it was very therapeutic for us. And the second record was more about who we are as people and fixing ourselves, or at least just asking for help. And then this last record is about being an artist and learning to look past, you know, things like what we call the censor, the first single off our record.
That was one of my favorite ones that stood out to me.
Yeah, it's about that part of your brain that's like, don't do that, don't take a risk, you know, and
that's
just
me.
telling that person to shut up.
Not a risk taker.
Yeah, yeah, and because, you know, sometimes when you take risks, great things happen, you know, and you never, I don't know, what is it, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Michael Scott.
Yeah, yeah.
Just kidding.
That's what she said.
So are you guys getting ready to go on tour now that Symbols is out?
Well, yeah. So we have a tour with Hands Like Houses that starts in November. We have a couple headlining dates that we're doing up until the beginning date that starts in San Francisco. We're gonna go around the country with those guys, which we're really excited about. Them and a band called Amorosa and Arlington and The Fame. And those are 3 different bands now. So on. And we have a record coming out October 26th. So it's like,
next week. Oh
yes,
gosh.
I know. I'm super excited about it. I didn't even realize it was that close. I'm like, oh, shoot.
So what are you guys gonna do for the release?
The release?
Yeah.
We're gonna throw a huge party.
Rightfully so.
I think we're all gonna just sit there and hope that people are listening to it. We won't be on tour, so we'll be doing a lot of social media. You know, the pre-order is available right now, so you can get
Good
that.
to know.
I'm not sure when
Comes
this is
out at
airing,
midnight?
but you know, yes, yeah.
Okay.
So we're super excited.
Well, that's awesome. Is there anything else you want to share?
Nope, just love you. Thank you for tuning in, and hope to see you out on the road, and tune in next time.